Hello, welcome back to my channel. So we're playing with the Framed Florets set again. That's going to be available November, and when this video posts it may be available. But what I want to do is focus on the Christmas side of things. So we're going to use this framed and festive cling stamp set and our paper that you can only get in the month of November while supplies last, and this also is you can only get. And then I'm going to use these dies that come with the bundle, the Framed Floret bundles. So I'm really liking these dies. Anyway, so what I thought we would do is we would put together some Christmas cards. Now this is kind of a fun fold. This is going to be a book binding fold. And I'm also using one of the smaller ovals from the Framed Florets dies. So I'm just the oval. And you can get it from this die here. It cuts out this decorative edge and the oval. Okay. So I have a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 by 5.5. It is scored at the 4 1/4 and the 3-inch mark. So we'll fold it in this way and burnish, and then we'll fold it back that way and burnish. Okay. What we need to do is color, and I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap. This piece here, I'm going to change the color of the berries, and I'm going to use for this one, I'm going to use the dark cherry cobbler. So I've already done most of it for you. I just wanted to show you how easy they are to color. So here's a white berry still left. So I'm going to go ahead, and that way you don't have to, I'm going to be doing some coloring, so cut down on some of the color recording time here. And the cool thing about this is when you color this in, because these berries are already shaded with the green, when you color in the red, there's different shading in the berries. It's pretty cool. Okay, so that piece is prepared and ready. So the rest of the pieces you'll need besides these two here is, this is your inside piece, your white cardstock. That's 2 7/8 by 5 3/8. Then you're going to need 2 bases. This is cherry cobbler. These are the mats. And so these are each 5 3/8 wide. This one is 1 1/8, and this is 2 7/8 wide. And then your 2 pieces of DSP. They're both 5 1/4 wide. This is 1 inch, and this is 2 3/4. Okay. So to start with, I'm just going to move that up there for right now. We're going to go ahead and get these attached to our mats. I was having so much fun creating these cards. I have a few different versions to show you. And then I just had to stop because I want to play with some other elements in this set. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and add this green gingham to the mat. Okay, those are done. Now we can go ahead and add these to our card base. Okay, and then add this one. there is that. Now the first, I'm going to move these few things aside. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prep this, and I'm going to use some red ribbon. This comes in the current mini catalog with a red, it's red and green ribbon. It's a combo pack. So we're going to use this, and what I'm going to do is take, we'll cover my glue, take some tear tape. We're going to open this up. Well, first we're going to measure. So what I have been doing to measure for the card is I've been sliding this under and making it so it overlaps. I don't know how much overlap is that, about an inch over on either side, and that seems to be enough ribbon to tie. So here we go. Here's my scissors. So approximately an inch. Okay, there's the ribbon. Now that we've got our ribbon cut, I'm going to prep the cards so that we can get the ribbon attached. So I'm going to take my tear tape, and I'm just going to take some little pieces and kind of set one at each end here. This will allow me to line up my ribbon, and I'm going to put one in the center here. Line up my ribbon so it stays in place. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and make sure that's in there really good, and then remove the release paper. It's been a while since I've done the bookbinding. I have done this before, and I really enjoy it. I think it's kind of gives it your card a classic look. So I'm going to do, just because I just do this, I'm going to find the center of that and bend it, and then kind of center it, top, bottom, and in the center there, and then attach that. And then I just want to make sure it doesn't move around, so I'm going to grab some more tear tape and just put back over those places. And I only need it on those two places. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure those are down really good. Remove this release paper. And then I'm going to put some glue on here because we're going to glue this section here. And if you're doing it, whatever orientation, this section is 1/4 of an inch wide. So if you flip your card around and you score instead of 4 1/4 at 5 1/2, you need to score it at 4 1/4 to get the book binding in that orientation as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add some glue. I just want to make sure this stays down. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and close this and just hold it down just so that it gets glued down really good. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and tie our bow. I'll grab my helpers here. These reverse tweezers, which we do sell, I've had these for a while. We sell another set. It's Stampin' Up, and you can get those on my website. Go ahead and get this bow tied. I'm going to fuss with it for a minute. Looks good. See if I can get that twisted down a little bit. Okay. I think I'm going to pull this just a little. Give me a little bit more length there. Just a little here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and clip this. This end is frayed a little bit, so I'm just going to clip this end. Just clean it up a little bit. And I'm going to clip this end. Okay, now I want this bow to stay in place and not move around, so I'm going to use a glue dot, and I take your pick tool. And get one of these off. And just stick that behind so I can get that in place. Okay, so there's the top part. Now, the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and add our inside piece. Okay, we've got that added in. All right, so the next thing I need to do is I need to stamp the sentiment, and I'm going to stamp that in Evening Evergreen. Now I have a stamping platform, a small one that I use, that I've had for a while. So what I'm going to do is, and we have one at Stampin' Up, I haven't gotten one yet because I have this. Although this is limited, I can only do small pieces here. I'm going to take a little bit of tear tape and just put that on there to hold it in place. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's an oval and I don't want it to move around, and I want to make sure I get a really good solid stamped sentiment. So I'm just going to put that there, and then I'm going to grab Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas from the Framed and Festive stamp set. And I'm going to turn this and get this where I want it. That's probably good right there, and pick it up. And then go ahead and get some ink on it. Yep, I need to do it again. One more time. Okay, that looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and clean off my stamp. Okay, and put this back in my case. Okay, so this is ready. Now you don't have to, but you are easily able to remove this tear tape from the back. It least I've done it several times. Yeah, just roll it off. Sometimes it's enough where you can just peel it off. So there is that. So we're going to go ahead and attach our sentiment right there on the card. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do, and that looks pretty good as it is, but we're dressing it up a little bit here. So we have this really pretty piece here, but I don't want it white. So I'm going to bring a different piece to color on here. I'm going to color this, and I'm going to use my Evening Evergreen. I think I'm going to use the light Evening Evergreen for this. And I'm going to use a light Cherry Cobbler. I'm going to do the Cherry Cobbler first. So this is our Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to use the light one, and I'm going to color the berries. And the reason I'm doing the red one on this first is because I have accidentally got red on the other one, and the green covers it up if I mess up and hit one of the parts that's supposed to have greenery. And then one more here. Okay, there's the red. Now the rest of this I'm going to color in light Evening Evergreen. And I do try to get around the edge a little bit to make sure I've gotten all the white taken care of and covered up. Now another thing you can do besides coloring this, although I'm enjoying coloring this die cut, is you could just cut this out of Evening Evergreen, and if you have red embellishments, red gems or whatever, you could put those where the berries are at. And that would be a quicker way to do it, but I really like how the card turned out doing this. And it really doesn't take too terribly long. Okay. It's a little bit harder because normally I have my face right up in it. Okay. There we go. Now I'm just going to check and see how it looks. I've got a couple of white spots I need to get right there. I don't care if there's a few, but some of them really stand out right there, right there. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. That is done. And so we're going to take this piece then, and we're going to add it. Oh, I do want to get that one spot right there. Okay. We're going to add it on this card here like this. Make sure it's not in the bend. And okay, go ahead and get this glue, and this card's almost done. Okay. Okay, I'm going to grab a block, just set that there to help me get that stuck in place. All right, so the next thing, the last piece on this card that I want to do is I want to add some of these these are the gold adhesive back swirls that are only available in November. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so to finish this card off, I'm gonna add some of these. I'm gonna add just 3. And there's our Christmas card using the Festive Florets set that came with the Framed and Festive stamp set. Isn't this a beautiful card? I think this card is so pretty. I love this card. Okay, this is my sample. And then I want to show you one more that I made, but I made it with a different orientation. So same measurements, everything the same. The only thing I changed was the greeting, and instead I have these cut out of gold, and I attached those. I still colored the berries and everything, and I think that card turned out really, really pretty too. Okay. Now I want to do something a little bit different. Still going to use the bookbinding method, but we're going to do, like, I call it a winter Christmas card. So you're still going to need the same thing. You're going to need a piece for this card. This is Night of Navy, and this measures 8.5 by 5.5. It's scored at the 4 1/4 and at 3. And so we're going to go ahead and burnish this here down. And then we're going to go ahead and fold this back. Get that burnished down. Okay. Now, you also are going to need same measurements. Your white cardstock, 2 7/8 by 5 3/8 for the inside. Your DSP, you're only going to need one piece for this card, and this is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Then your base, 5 3/8 by 2 7/8, and a piece of balmy blue, and I've embossed this. I'm going to show you what I embossed it with. 5 3/8 by 1 1/8. So the first thing we're going to do is we can go ahead and just glue this 1 1/4 inch piece down right now. We don't need to, we're not putting anything in here, any ribbon or anything, so we don't need to prep that beforehand. So we can just glue that down. Okay, now we can add our floral base to this, And I'm going to go ahead and attach it to this base here. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach this. And I'm just trying to get pieces out of the way so we can do the rest of what we need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the inside piece. There we go. Okay. And this is going to be in this orientation, but we're done with that for the moment. Okay, so we're going to do some more coloring. But first thing we're going to do, try to get a piece that's not quite so dirty here, is okay, so I took this 1 1/8 and 5 3/8 piece, and I embossed it with the Wintry 3D embossing folder. It comes with the snowflakes and the pines. And so I took the snowflakes and embossed this piece. Then we need our white pigment ink. And we're going to just add some white pigment ink to this piece here. And I'm going to drag it. I'm just going to drag it. I'm going to use this end here, and I'm just going to drag across. And I'm okay if some of the white gets in there. And then drag this across this way, just laying it on there lightly. And that's all you need to do. So that's going to we're going to give that a little bit of time to dry. I'm going to set that aside. Give it a little bit of time to dry while we work on this. So for this, I am actually going to use the dark balmy blue and the light evening evergreen. So I'm going to go ahead and color this again. And I'm using the paintbrush tip, or whatever that's called. I think it colors faster than the ballpoint. I feel like I have a little bit more control with it. And when you put your ink down, you just want to be careful when you're coloring with these in little areas, because you can watch it spread just by touching your tip to it. I think coloring this die cut gives a neat effect. Okay, and then the berries I'm going to color with the dark balmy blue. I'm just going to check my white here. A couple of areas. think that looks pretty good for now. Okay. So we've got those colored. Now, oh, and I need to stamp my greeting, and I forgot to pull an O out. Let me grab one really quick. Okay, that'll give that pigment ink a little bit more time to dry. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. Grab this over here and put a little bit of tear tape on the edge to hold it in place. And I'm going to use the greeting, "May this season be filled with peace and joy." Right here. And I'm going to go ahead and get that closer to the bottom here. And I'm actually going to stamp that in either navy. And that's a pretty good stamp. We don't need to do that again. Okay, clean this up. All right, now we're ready to finish our card. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and attach this piece here. And then attach our sentiment. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and glue this. And I'm going to put this right around the top like that. Okay, I think that's good. So I'm going to turn this a little bit, and I just want it, kind of want that blueberry there to show through. Okay, get this down and get a block on it to hold it in place. And while that's holding, I'm going to grab some gems. I'm not going to use the gold gems. I'm going to use some different gems. I think I'm going to use these iridescent rhinestones. Okay, that's down. But first, I'm going to go through and I'm going to just put some Wink of Stella on the little berries just to give it a little bit of shimmer, including the ones that are on the paper. Just the berries. all the berries. And then to finish the card off, I think we're just going to do the small ones. I'm going to do 3 small. I'm going to do one right there in the middle of that snowflake. And put one right there. And then one right there. And there is our winter Christmas card. Isn't that cute? I love this one. I love blue. Blue is my favorite color, so pretty. Okay, one more. I think we have enough time. How about a non-traditional card? Non-traditional Christmas card using this set. So for the non-traditional, we're going to need, I'm using Very Vanilla. So one of these pieces in Very Vanilla, your oval in Very Vanilla, and your inside piece in Very Vanilla. And then same measurements. I've used this one from the paper pack, from the Framed Florets paper pack, and I'm using polished pink as the background. So let's go ahead and get this card folded. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get these matted. And I'm thinking of this more, it's a more whimsical kind of card. Okay, those are matted. So, whoops, here goes my oval. So what I need to do is I need to actually attach this here, but we do need to prep. We'll attach both the mats, but we do need to prep, because I'm going to add some ribbon here. Okay, so the ribbon I'm going to use is metallic edge cotton ribbon. It's the Very Vanilla and the silver. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to run this under and measure about 1 inch on either side. That looks about good there. Then we need to do this. And then we're going to go ahead and use the tape again. And this tear tape does last you a long, I mean, if you're not using it on everything, it lasts me a long time, because I really like using the Monotombo glue most of the time. Okay, so go ahead and release this. And then find the center to this. center this on here. Some more tear tape. And I like to add the tear tape over the ribbon because it just ensures that it stays there. It's stuck, has sticky on either side of it. And then we'll glue this down. Okay, and then get this ribbon tied. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to fuss with the ribbon a minute. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and get that bow in place with a glue dot. So that I can more easily cut those ends off there. There we go. Go ahead and do some trimming here. Trim this a little bit. There we go. That looks good. Okay. So there's that. And then we'll go ahead and put in our inside piece. Okay. Okay, now that we've got all of this attached, let's go ahead and stamp our greeting. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp this in polished pink. And I'm going to use the Fa La 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 stamp from this stamp set, Framed and Festive. So I'm going to do the same thing. Got a little bit of tape here on the bottom of it. Go ahead and attach it in here. Line up my sentiment. And I think one more time we'll do it. color some more on our die cut piece here. Get this attached. There we go. Okay, so the next thing is we're going to color this, and I'm going to use dark balmy blue and dark polished pink. This set is so versatile. I'm going to do my pink first. And one more berry here. Okay, and then I'm going to color the rest in the dark balmy blue. You could also color this in the Night of Navy, since that is also in this paper we're using for this card. But I like the brightness of this. I apologize if I'm sniffling a lot. I don't have a cold or anything. It's just getting colder. I noticed in another video I did, I was sniffling a little bit. We have snow on the ground now. Not only is this set versatile with these die cuts, being able to color this die cut, you can color any of the die cuts, but the oval shapes, I have been wanting some oval shapes. I was just thinking that not too long ago, so this is a really cool set for that. Plus you get some fancy die cuts in it. And these smaller ones will fit in the mini die cut machine. There's only that spot and well, that one right there, and everything else looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this card. All right, so I'm gonna add this right around there. Let's go ahead and get some glue on this. All right. There. And then I'm not going to use the gold ones because I have the silver here. So let's see which ones I want to use. Oh, no, I think we're still going to go with those. We're going to use the iridescent rhinestones. Okay, that's probably good. And we'll add a few of these rhinestones. Oh, I'm going to do Link of Stella on these berries here. Give those a little bit of a shimmer. And then grab some of these. And I'm going to put them right around the, we're going to do a medium, right around the sentiment. Small, and another small right around there. And here is our non-traditional card. And I think that turned out very, very nice. Okay, so here are all the cards, including the samples I had that we made. So we've got our non-traditional. Here's my sample for non-traditional. I used the silver embellishment, the silver pearls, our winter, this one that was a sample, but we didn't make that on there, but it's another version. And then these two right here. I'd love to know which one are your favorite, which one you like. Thank you for joining me, and I will catch you on the next one.